With me, I've got trainer Joe Gallagher. How are you, Joe?
All right, Coogan, you okay, mate?
Very well, thank you. One of your fighters, Liam Smith, is in action April the 18th. Opponent hasn't been confirmed yet, but obviously there was talk of Carson Jones, which is sort of fallen through now. But it's got to be a big year for Liam Smith this year, Joe.
Yeah, this is going to be his breakout year. He got to a good start last year, good wins over Thompson and Wellborn, and then he hasn't been really. I thought he was getting a bit stale in the gym, but you've seen in his performance last time out, his shot selection, his nastiness, and his skills. He just showed he belongs to move on from domestic level now. We tried to get the Carson Jones, but Carson Jones isn't well. It's unfortunate, but all Liam's got to do is just stay focused and go in and do a job that I know he's capable of on April the 18th. And the way he's performing in the gym at the moment, I tweeted it out today, whoever it is, they're getting it. If there had been a Bundridge in the ring on April the 18th, they were getting it. The Jack Cole guy, they'd get it. Liam Smith's on fire at the moment, and this is his year, and I'm very confident of him winning a world title.
Liam Smith, obviously, he seems to me that he's off that domestic scene and, should be pushing for further, aspirations in, with rankings and obviously pushing himself towards a world title. Do you think that sort of, not he's being held back, but slight through whatever reasons, has been unable to sort of step onto the next level? Yeah,
listen, you can say that, but you've got to look at the division he's in, the light middleweights. It's a rich group of talented fighters there. You've got Miguel Cotto, Mayweather. They're not easy to get fights against, aren't they? I'm not saying Liam's good enough to compete against them and beat them, but the Cotto one I'd take for Liam Smith. But no, I just think that's the system. Sometimes you just got to be patient, have these fights, make sure you're learning in the gym, you're applying, and he's getting a sense of maturity about his work now, Liam, and now it's time to be serious about his career, and he's ready for that next step up. He's 5 in the IBF, he's 6 in the WBA, and like his brother Stephen, who's had a bit of a frustrating time recently, it's just about sitting tight with the ranking, getting the fights. They're not the juicy fights they're getting stuck into at the time, but he's still got to win and look impressive doing them, and it's all about waiting the time, and when the time comes, Frank Warren's well known for getting the right fight at the right time for his fighters. He's got a catalogue of fighters who he's done it for in the past with Nazim Hamid, Joe Calzaghe, Ricky Hatton, and I'm sure he'll be able to deliver for the right fight, the right world champion at the right time for Liam Smith.
Obviously, we've seen fighters like Brian Rose, obviously, go through the domestic route and then, come short at a world level. But is it also sometimes about timing in situations like this, that Liam Smith is sort of matched at the right time, whenever that is, and whenever he's ready to step up to world level?
Definitely, you've nailed it on one there, Coogan. It is definitely about time, and it's all right about getting a world title opportunity, but I want Liam Smith to get a world title, perform in that world title fight, and win the world title. And it's about, once you go through that door, there's no coming back. You've got to, you're in, there's no going back, and I want him to win the title, defend the title, and I do feel it's just a shame the Carson Jones fight didn't come off. It was a great fight for him. It was a chance for him to step out of his brother's shadows. Paul's had great exposure with Abraham. Callum Smith has now. Stephen Smith has. And this was a chance for Liam to break out and make his own name and let people be talking about Liam Smith. And he is one of the best talents on these shows at the moment.
Well, April the 18th, Liam's next outing. We shall see his next stages of his progression. A couple of fights I wanted to talk to you about, Joe, upcoming on BoxNation in the next sort of month or so. First of all, Andy Lee makes a defence of his world title against Peter Quillin. The title that Peter Quillin actually vacated around a year ago. Now he's fighting back for that title. How do you see that fight going?
Do you know what the form guide Andy Lee's in at the moment? He's always going in the underdog, but he's managed to cause the upset. I think the wins over Jackson and last time out will give him huge confidence, huge belief in the work that he's doing with Adam Booth. It's been a slow burning process, but Adam's done a good job there, instilling confidence and belief in the work that they're doing. And Andy Lee's beginning to develop a bit of confidence in his own punching ability, and there were 2 really good wins lastly, and like I said, against Kobarov. Quillin, listen, he was in a great fight with Hassim Nadam. He was down, got up, and he can go down. I've seen Kid Chocolate sparring in the wild card, and he puts kids over for fun, and he can whack. Will the inactivity affect Kid Chocolate? Maybe. Andy Lee's in a great run of form, a guide. He's going at this fight hot. He's in a hot form of guide, and there's just little things like that could be on the night. He's been in America beating Jackson there. He's been in America Khabarov, so fighting in America for titles, their obstacles and the leads mentally overcome going into this fight. Kid Chocolate maybe coming into the fight, Peter Quillin thinking to himself, Joe, I only have to turn up and win here. And if Andy Lee can contain him or be in the fight after 6 rounds, listen, you never saw you can. That's a real good fight. And Andy Lee's going in there, a confident fighter, but he has to be aware of Kid Chocolate's speed. He can hit, and the thing is though, he can go down, and that'll give a lot of confidence to Adam Booth and Andy Lee going into this fight. It's a really good fight.
That fight, April the 11th from New York. Another fight in New York as well. Just announced on BoxNation, Vladimir Klitschko against Bryant Jennings, the unbeaten Bryant Jennings. Can you see Jennings providing any sort of test to the best heavyweight currently on the planet in Vladimir Klitschko?
Joe, it's the heavyweights, isn't it? It only takes one shot, and I think that's with any heavyweight fight that happens. It always has us intrigued. Just one fight can turn everything on. It's the first time Klitschko's fought in America for a long time. He'll be looking to put a performance in New York. It's a great chance for Jennings. You've got Wilder, the other world champion there in America. Jennings will be looking to try and make a name for himself. You just never know, but the form guide suggests it's a routine defence for Klitschko, and then onto a unification fight with Wilder or a defence of Tyson Fury. I'd love to see that fight, but you can never say never in the heavyweight division. And obviously Bryant Jennings, as long as he's in there, he has a puncher's chance, but you'd expect Klitschko to take care of business and announce himself back on the American scene over there.
That time you got yourself a heavyweight in the Gallagher's gym, surely, isn't it, Joe?
Well, Coogan, I've heard you were getting in training for something. I had my eye on you, mate, but you've let me down there, pal. But listen, I said my hands are battered with Jose Burton, Callum Smith, Paul Smith, Callum Johnson, so I'll leave the heavyweights alone at the moment there, mate.
All right, Joe, listen, thank you very much for talking to the Cassius and Helder show. And listen, best of luck with all your fighters. And obviously, of course, Liam Smith ahead of his fight on April the 18th.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, Liam hates it, but I call him El Bifo. He's the British kid, fights like a Mexican. He's the Canelo Alvarez of Mexican boxing. Don't look Mexican, but fights like it. And Liam Smith's the same. And it's got to be the year of El Bifo this year.
Thank you very much.